Inflation, student debt, recession, mortgage rates. Your employees have a lot on their minds. Offer them financial well-being support from Vanguard well on your way at institutional.vanguard.com. All investing is subject to risk. Advice provided by Vanguard Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor.
On today's Smart 7, Rishi calls for calm as US weighs retribution. Disposable vapes face the bin and much more. It's Tuesday 30th of January, it's Croissant Day, and happy birthday, Olivia Colman.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
The aftermath of the attack on US troops in Jordan that left 3 dead and dozens wounded continued on Monday. It emerged that the drone attack may have been successful because US air defense systems mistook the attacking drone for a friendly one that was due to return to base. It's still not clear which organization is responsible for the attack, but US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, who has returned to the Pentagon after a health scare, was clear that the US would act in defense of its troops.
The President and I will not tolerate attack on US forces, and we will take all necessary actions to defend the U.S. and our troops.
There were some hopeful signs on Monday as Qatar announced that along with negotiators from Israel, the US and Egypt, they have agreed an outline framework at talks in Paris that will now be brought to Hamas. It could see a release of hostages, phased pauses in the fighting, and an increase in the level of humanitarian aid for Gaza. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was appealing for calm in the wake of the drone attack.
We absolutely condemn what has happened over the past couple of days. My thoughts are with all of those impacted, those who've lost their lives, their families, and those that are injured. We stand resolutely with our allies to bring stability and peace to the region, and that's what we'll continue to work towards.
The government is moving ahead with its plan to ban disposable vapes, it announced on Monday. The action is intended to protect children and help prevent them from taking up smoking, and there will also be action taken to curb the fruit-flavoured varieties and colourful packaging. The legislation will be put to a free vote, and Health Secretary Victoria Atkins told LBC on Monday that it's a growing problem that needs to be tackled.
In the last 3 years, for example, the use of vapes amongst children has tripled, and we know that 69% of those young people use disposable vapes. And so in order to crack this addiction of nicotine, we're looking to prohibit disposable vapes.
There was a slightly odd pushback from former PM Liz Truss on the proposal, who felt such a move was profoundly unconservative and grumbled about the nanny state, presumably while puffing away on a bubblegum vape. Chief Medical Officer for England, Professor Chris Whitty, is backing the plan, along with the proposal to gradually phase out smoking altogether.
I really want to be clear that if you smoke, vaping is safer. But if you don't smoke, don't vape, then it is absolutely unacceptable to be marketing vapes to children.
This week sees a European Union summit take place in Brussels on Thursday. The main item on the agenda will be the stalled €50 billion aid package for Ukraine that was blocked by Hungary's Viktor Orban. Orban remains closely aligned with Putin, and between Hungary and Slovakia, the European Commission could struggle to get the aid package through a vote. President Zelensky continues to make his case for more aid, speaking to German television channel ARD and warning that if Ukraine fails to stop Russia, it could lead to a third world war. He says Russia simply doesn't care how many men die in the process.
They treat them like meat. I'm not sure if it's exhaustion for them. They don't care whether it's 1 million, 2, 3, how many people die. For example, at Vika, you can't even imagine. There are fences made of the corpses of their people.
There was bad news for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak as the House of Lords began the debate on the Safety of Rwanda Bill on Monday evening. Former Tory Chancellor Ken Clarke, or Baron Clarke, as he's known in the Lords, withdrew his support for the bill. He'd initially been on board as he said last year that he couldn't see any better alternative, but considering the bill as proposed, he objected to the notion that the bill would see Parliament overturn a finding of fact by the Supreme Court.
And if we pass this bill, we are asserting as a matter of law that Rwanda is a safe country for this purpose, that it is always going to be a safe country for this purpose until the law is changed, and the courts may not even consider any evidence brought before them to try to demonstrate that it's not.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Wrexham run out of luck and Bob Odenkirk gets a royal surprise right after this.
Get the best workout with the best-kept secret in fitness. Hydro, the state-of-the-art at-home rower. Hydro engages 86% of your muscles, delivering the ultimate full-body workout in just 20 minutes. From advanced to beginner, Hydro has over 4,000 classes that are shot all over the world and are taught by Olympians and world-class athletes. For a 30-day risk-free trial with free standard shipping, go to hydro.com and use code ROW500 to save up to $500. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW500.
Welcome back.
Monday night saw the last game of the FA Cup fourth round. Well, apart from the 5 replays that take place next week, Championship side Blackburn welcomed League 2 side Wrexham in a game that was in the spotlight because of Wrexham celebrity owners Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Wrexham have been on a cup run and they did score first here, but Blackburn were too good for them and the game finished 4-1. Manager John Dal Thomason is delighted to meet his former club, Newcastle, in the next round and felt his team did what he asked.
We know when you're playing the FA Cup, it's about that knockout game. Win it! And it's not always easy, and especially not against the Wrexham team, who's had a lot of joy this season, but also last season where they knocked Coventry out, where they almost knocked Sheffield United out last season. But I actually thought we started the game really well.
Better Call Saul star Bob Odenkirk has bounced back from his Emmy disappointment. He's had 6 nominations for Best Lead Actor in a Drama Series for the show and never won. He's been keeping busy investigating his family tree on the US series Finding Your Roots. That's the same show that discovered Larry David and Bernie Sanders are actually related. Bob got some big news too as the show traced his roots back to Europe, and well, let's just say maybe he should get his prostate checked.
Guess what?
Uh-oh, what's wrong?
You and King Charles III are 11th cousins.
Somehow, it's still January, but that hasn't stopped the big movie trailers from dropping. We've had Despicable Me 4. Now we're getting the new trailer for the 5th Ghostbusters movie. It's called Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and it's got a cast absolutely jam-packed full of big names, including Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhard and McKenna Grace, along with OG Ghostbusters Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray. It's your classic plot in which an ancient artifact releases an unspeakable evil that's looking to unleash a second ice age on New York. It hits cinemas on March 22nd.
I've been waiting 40 years for this. They called themselves Ghostbusters. According to these hacks, they saved the world. No eyewitnesses. And who is found to carry the torch? Descendants. Egon Spengler.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Hey y'all, I'm Taryn Finley, host of a new podcast from HuffPost called I Know That's Right. Each week, I'll be taking you on a ride where mainstream media and the depths of internet culture collide. Joined by a rotating cast of friends and guests, we'll be breaking down the weekly what's what and who's who of pop culture. You need a show that separates the mess from the stuff that makes you say, I know that's right? Don't worry, girl, I got you. Check out I Know That's Right, wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.